My name is Edward, and I'm 81 years old. I'm sitting here in this quiet house, and I need to tell you something that has been eating at me for decades. The biggest lie I ever believed, and the one that cost me the most, was that playing it safe would keep me happy. That if I just made the steady choices, avoided the big risks, stayed on the path, everything would turn out fine. I was wrong, and if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, or even 50s right now, telling yourself you'll take that chance someday, I need you to listen. Because someday almost never comes. Let me take you back to 1965. I was 24, fresh out of college with a degree in accounting. I had a job offer from a big firm downtown, good salary, benefits, pension plan, the whole package. Everyone said it was the smart move. My father shook my hand and told me I was beat. Set for life. But there was something else. A friend of mine, Paul, wanted to start a small outdoor gear company. He'd been designing backpacks and tents in his garage, and he had this wild idea to sell them to hikers and climbers. He asked me to come in as partner, handle the books, invest a little, help build it from the ground. I thought about it for weeks. I lay awake at night imagining what it could become. But every time I pictured quitting the safe job, moving money from savings, risking failure, my stomach knotted up. What if it flopped? What if I lost everything? What if people thought I was reckless? So I said no. I took the firm job. Paul found another partner. 10 years later, his company was in every outdoor store in the country. He sold it in the 90s for more money than I made in my entire career. We stayed friends, but every time we met, he had new stories. Trips to the Rockies to test gear, meetings with suppliers in Europe, the thrill of watching something he built grow. I smiled and congratulated him. Inside, I felt sick. That was the first big risk I didn't take. It wouldn't be the last. In 1972, I was 31. I met a woman named Clara at a community theater audition. She was vibrant, red hair, loud laugh, always talking about the places she wanted to see. Morocco, Nepal, Patagonia. We dated for 8 months. I fell hard. One night she told me she was offered a year-long teaching position in Kenya with a volunteer program. She wanted me to come with her, not forever, just a year. We could save, sublet my apartment, live cheaply. She said it would be the adventure of our lives. I panicked. I had just been promoted. The mortgage on the small house I bought was new. My parents were getting older, and I was their only child nearby. I told her it was too much risk, too unstable. She looked at me for a long time and said, "Edward, life's not supposed to be stable. It's supposed to be lived." She went alone. We wrote letters for a while. Then the letters stopped. She married a photographer she met there. They still live part-time in East Africa. I saw her once, 20 years later, at a reunion. She was tanned, laughing, eyes bright. I was pale from office fluorescent lights, carrying the same briefcase I'd had since 1978. I married someone else in 1976. Nice woman, steady, predictable. We had 2 kids. The marriage lasted 29 years, until she quietly told me one day that she felt like she'd been living with a ghost. She was right. I had been careful, cautious, always planning for the worst. I never surprised her with tickets to Paris. I never quit a job to follow a dream. I never danced in the kitchen at midnight. I kept us safe, and I made us small. The pattern repeated itself over and over. In 1988, my boss offered me a transfer to the London office. 3-year posting, big raise, incredible experience. I turned it down because the kids were in high school and I didn't want to uproot them. In 1995, I had a chance to invest in a startup with some colleagues. early internet company. I ran the numbers, saw the risk, kept my money in bonds. That company went public 3 years later. One of my co-workers retired at 48. Every time the moment came, I chose safety. I told myself I was being responsible. I told myself I was protecting the people I loved. But really, I was protecting myself from feeling like a failure. Then, in 2011, I was 70. My wife had passed 2 years earlier. The kids were grown and busy with their own lives. I woke up one morning in my empty house and realized I had followed every rule, checked every box, and I still felt hollow. I had money in the bank, a paid-off house, a decent pension, and I had never truly felt alive. So I did something terrifying. I booked a one-way ticket to Portugal. I rented a small apartment in Lisbon for 3 months. I didn't tell anyone until the day before I left. My daughter cried on the phone and asked if I was having a breakdown. I told her I was finally waking up. Those 3 months changed everything. I walked cobblestone streets until my feet bled. I ate dinner with strangers who spoke no English. I learned to surf at 70, fell 100 times, laughed every time. I sat in cafes writing in a journal things I'd never said out loud. I felt, for the first time in decades, the rush of being completely uncertain and completely free. I came home different. I sold the big house and bought a small cabin near the mountains. I started painting, badly, joyfully. I took flying lessons at 75. I told my kids stories I'd never shared before. I finally sent some of those unsent letters, not to change anything, just to stop carrying them. And you know what? The world didn't end. The money didn't run out. The people who loved me adjusted. Some even followed my example. But here's what keeps me awake at night. All the years I lost to fear. All the adventures I postponed. All the love I measured out in careful portions, instead of pouring it freely. All the times I said, "Not yet," when life was whispering, "Now." If this hit home, share it with someone who's stuck in someday. Leave a comment and tell me one risk you're going to take this week. Subscribe if you want to hear more hard-earned truth from people who've run out of time to waste. The clock is ticking. Don't wait for permission. Go live.